What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dallas Terrell.
I'm Jeremy Miller.
And we are the Betterment Bros.
All right, everybody, as Dallas said up top, we're coming at you on Friday with a brand new episode. Also, Dal, great job in the intro, dude.
Dude, thank you.
That was your first one, dude.
First
and
one.
I think it was killer, dude. And I know the audience at home thought it was fucking killer, too.
Dude, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So we're trying something new tonight. We're doing some video.
For you guys, for the audience.
That's right. So if you're listening to us and you're like, whoa, these guys are doing video, that's right. We are. You can find us on a YouTube channel. We'll put some links in the podcast description and also on our social media so that you can find us on the YouTube, okay? But if you're wondering, you know, what do the faces look like behind those voices?
Great voices.
You can now find out on YouTube. Wonderful platform.
Great voices, great faces.
Boom.
Great advice.
Great channel.
Great dudes.
That being said, Dal, you want to kick it off with your check-in, bro?
Yeah.
Okay,
I would
cool.
like to do that.
Let's
I'd
do
like
it,
to
man.
do that.
What do you got?
Dude, so ironically, my 2-minute takeaway, my check-in for the week is actually the progress and wins that I'm experiencing from doing daily betterment.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
I think we are two dudes that, you know, what's the word? Encapture daily betterment. That's
Yeah.
kind of been like the theme for our lives.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know with me, I definitely reach plateaus.
Yeah, dude.
Right, and it's like, oh fuck, what do I do now? What's the next move? And there's like that idle time, and I feel like right before we announced the daily betterment was like idle time for me.
Yeah.
So being able to kick it back into daily betterment, being able to meditate every day, being able to do the gratitude journals at least mentally in my head before I wake up, being able to go harder in the gym.
Right.
I've had like this new drive for all the things that I've been doing, but I've been doing them better and more often and experiencing more takeaways from them, dude. So that's been pretty cool. I with the meditating, I feel like the meditations that I've been doing, I've been able to like navigate my own mind like more clear. It's almost like I spend 5-10 minutes like, you know, chilling out, getting into the moment, you know, like letting everything go, getting comfortable. And then when I get there, I was telling our buddy Joe Clements when we were doing it, it's I feel like I can just like after 10 minutes I get to this like zone where I can just kind of calmly and like tranquilly navigate the inner workings of my mind.
Dude.
Which is fucking pretty crazy.
That's
you know?
badass, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty cool. It's been a kind of a cool new experience. Being like more consistent in a practice like that.
Yeah.
Not doing it because I need it, but doing it because I want to.
Yep.
Doing it because I want to get better at it.
Yep.
So I've had a lot of takeaways from doing that. And I've had a lot of takeaways from just trying to learn, reading new books, right? Taking kind of like the let's learn something new every day, or let's try to, or let's read more of this certain book, and just kind of getting back into the groove, you know?
Man.
Getting back in to the
Back
groove.
in.
I don't know if you listened to episode 8, but at the end of episode 8, and we're not talking Star Wars, there was a nice little blooper at the end. So let us know if you see it. You're going to want to see it.
Yeah. If you haven't heard it, go back to that episode. Just if you already listened to the episode, go back, fast forward all the way to the end.
You missed a nice little...
we put a blooper in there. It's pretty good.
Not only a blooper, but what was it called in Ready Player One? An Easter egg.
Oh, yeah, an Easter
We
egg.
put an Easter egg in
Yeah,
there at the
dude.
very end.
I like that.
Yeah, and that was cool.
Hell yeah, man.
But dude, so that was my takeaway. Another quick, short takeaway.
Yeah.
I think I shared this with you, but a fan reached out on Friday after they listened to episode 8. And what they said was, hey, I'm having a rough day, or was having a rough day. And I said, you know what? What can I do to get out of the funk?
Right.
Boom, Betterment Bros. They
Oh,
went and
man.
listened to our new episode, loved it, touched him,
Wow.
felt really good about it, got him out of his funk. And like, obviously that's a win in itself. But the win above that is that was our fucking goal. That was our
the
purpose.
purpose.
It's like, dude, let's send people into the weekend. Let's send you guys into the weekend on a high note. Let's change that perspective. Let's get some optimistic ideas flowing before you go into the weekend.
Dude.
Let's get you going into the weekend at your best.
Yep.
And the fact that we did that,
Yep.
what, a month and a half in,
Killer.
and like got that feedback from somebody else,
Yep.
like organically and genuinely.
Yep. It's
Dude.
perfect.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
And to that fan, keep it up. All right. Because if it worked, I want you to keep doing it. Also, on your daily betterment, right? Like it can be listening to a podcast, listening to some personal development stuff, listening to the Betterment Bros, like anything to pull you out and gear you up for Saturday, Sunday, man. That's awesome. Way to put it into use.
Yeah, that's called a strategy.
That's right. And we're into strategies.
Very true. We're very strategic.
Hell yeah, dude. Sick takeaway, bro.
Thank you, bro. So let's talk about yours. What'd you get?
Okay,
How's the week, dude? Check-ins?
The week was good.
Week was good?
The week was busy, dude.
Busy week?
Yeah, and I think my 2-minute takeaway, I was in a business meeting, and, there were 3 of us there, right? And the dynamic was very interesting in that
I bet.
I wanted to, I was bringing something to the table, but the meeting wasn't about me, right? It was about the other 2 that were there. And, it's pretty like high pressure situation.
Gotcha.
Right? Like pretty heavy stakes and stuff. I can't be super specific.
Yeah.
Just because it's some stuff I'm working on that hasn't really come to fruition yet.
Yeah. Or it's like not your shit.
Yeah, and it's I'm helping some other people out with some pretty big stuff. But the takeaway was that at one point, I had like a brief window for like my pitch, right? And for all my homies out there in sales, like, dude, when you've got your window and the pressure's on, especially because the person I was talking to is incredibly successful, very established. And, I kind of like threw it out there, but it was too brief, right? Like I felt like the window wasn't big enough. And then immediately, like once that window closed and the other conversation resumed, I immediately went into my narrative of like, dude, I just fucked this up. Like, I didn't have enough time, like this, that, and the other thing, and I just fucking started spinning down, totally checked out of the moment.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I would have left it at that, right? And I would have beat myself up on the drive home, which, was a long drive, so it would have been a pretty heavy beating. And then the next day in the shower, I'd be washing my hair like, you're a fucking idiot, like, and that's usually like what I would do. And so I was like, dude, I want to change that, And so what I did, I excused myself, went to the bathroom, splashed a little water on my face.
Oh shit!
And then
straight from a movie.
Yeah, dude, it was
like that.
Right. And then I just like played something through in my head where it was like, dude, like, okay, that didn't go the way you wanted it to, but why leave it at that, right? So shake it off, right? Don't pretend it didn't happen because it did.
Yeah.
But go back out there and just kind of take control back, right? And that was the first time genuinely in this realm of work that I do, that I was able to like really do that. So I shook it off, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then I went back and I sat back down and, something must have, they must have picked up on something because like, as soon as I sat down, they're like, hey dude, like that was really short. Like, so what do you got, man? Like, tell me about your stuff.
Like back to you type of thing.
Yeah, dude. And but it did not feel like that when I left for the bathroom.
Yeah.
But then when I came back, that's what I pulled in, right? And then I did have my moment, and then I was like, because I cleared a little bit, I said, okay, here's what I got. And it went way better, and it was exactly the desired result. And so my takeaway from that, my 2-minute takeaway was that at any moment when something's not going your way, you could change it.
Yeah.
Right? You could take that control back. And I, in that instance, I really proved that to myself. And that's like a big thing is that like, we can tell you guys all this stuff. We can sit here in our studio and fucking talk about all this shit, but the work is actually doing it. It's so much harder to do. And when you do it, you prove that it can be done.
Absolutely.
Which makes it more likely to continue doing, right?
To be done again.
Yeah. And so like, I just noticed that throughout the remainder of the day, I went from meeting to meeting to meeting. I was carrying that same thing where if it didn't go that way or something like, activated a weird response, I would just kind of shake it off and retake control.
Yeah.
And it felt
create more opportunities.
Dude, it felt awesome.
Dude, sick.
That's my takeaway, man.
That's huge.
That's it.
That's funny because it reminds me of your tattoo.
Yeah, dude.
On your forearm.
That's right.
Right? I always think about that. I don't know if you guys can see it over there. Jeremy, why don't you read it to him?
Every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around.
Every
passing minute.
Every passing minute. Dude.
Yeah, that's a quote from Vanilla Sky, which is Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz.
All the Cruises.
The Cruises are there, dude, and they're bringing the heat.
And they're driving Chevy Cruises.
Well,
they're not.
They're not, but that would have been something. I actually don't think Chevy Cruises were a thing back then.
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah. Tom Cruise.
Doing some dirty stuff to Tom Cruise
in a Chevy Cruise. Now, that's a movie I'd see.
Me too. Someone needs to make that movie, please.
We'll call Cameron Crowe and see if he'll do a sequel.
Or sequel.
And call it...
Do a Sarah Quell.
Yeah, we'll call it Chevy Cruise, dude.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Anyways, let's
sick
get off
takeaway,
that.
though,
yeah,
dude.
Sick
That's
takeaways,
awesome.
guys. I'm pulling up the funny email.
There you go.
Now, for you guys that are just joining us now for the first time, before we crack eggs of knowledge in the life realm, we like to fire it up with a funny email. Okay?
We do.
And if you guys have a funny situation or a serious situation that you want us to advise on, mentor you about, counsel you on, you'll email it to us at bettermentbros@gmail.com. I'll make sure to put all that shit in there.
Cool.
But this was the funny one of the week, and you have not heard this yet.
Authentic reactions are about to come out.
It's authentic, and this isn't so much this is very much a hypothetical.
Got it.
But I'm into it. Okay, you ready?
Cool.
Okay. Where'd it go? Here it is. Would you rather deal with a zombie apocalypse with no guns or a giant spider apocalypse with guns? The spiders are giant as in dinosaur scale large. So a Goliath bird eater would be the size of a 747. Ticks are the size of raptors and black widows the size of hippos. The numbers for the zombies would be insane. Basically 98% of the human population, and spiders about the same. So we're talking about, so let's
Full
simplify.
takeover.
Okay, we're talking about zombies, spiders, right? Zombies with no guns or spiders with guns.
Right.
What do you think, bro? This is a lot of strategy. It's tough.
Well,
This is tough. It's a pretty dark scenario, no matter how you spin it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's pretty dark. I mean, dude, my first thought was like spiders with guns, go out, guns blazing. You're gonna die. You might as well die sooner. But
Dang.
now that
That's dark.
Yeah, super dark, dude. Now that I think about it a little bit more, if that's more time to digest.
Yeah, really soak it up.
I mean, I would say zombies with no guns, because even without guns, you can still get a lot of weapons. Like I think a zombie and then me with like a hatchet or a machete or a knife or where is it? Your baseball bat that's wrapped up with the barbed wire.
It's a costume.
I feel like me with those weapons versus one zombie, maybe two, is still more of a fair fight.
Yeah.
Than a gigantic spider and me with a handgun.
Yeah.
Or a 50 cal.
Right. I side with you on that. I am definitely going into the zombie apocalypse without guns.
Yeah.
The only bummer about that is that, as we've seen in most mainstream cinema, television included, when it comes to zombies and stuff, it's not so much the zombies you got to worry about, it's the other people.
It's the other people,
right?
dude.
Because people break out into chaos, like things get very dark, they get very confusing. It gets very primal.
It does.
And, so a zombie, they're thinking about one thing, right? They want to take a chunk out your neck.
Yeah.
But in spiders, pretty much the same. But the difference is that a zombie, you can grapple with.
You can.
I'm not grappling with no fucking tarantula.
And all they're trying to do is bite you.
Yeah.
Like they punch you, you're
spiders
still fine.
can spin webs.
I was just thinking that, dude.
Like a jumping
They'll
spider.
snatch that gun out of you with the spider web so fast.
Oh, you're toast, dude. Like imagine like a tarantula the size of my Jeep, right? Forget about it, dude. Nah, dude, because like even then,
shoot
like
one of its 8 legs.
Right, and then you hide inside, but it lays eggs, and the little babies come running in, and they're the size of like Great Danes. Dude, game over, man. I'm choosing zombies.
That's fucked up.
To the audience at home, we want to know what you would choose and why in the comments.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're on YouTube, comment below. If you're on the podcast, shout us out on the social.
Yeah,
zombies
show us
or
your
spiders.
perspectives.
Okay, what are you doing? That being said,
damn, that's dark, dude.
It got dark.
Yeah, wow.
So now we're going to jump to the serious. And this week is a little bit unique in the sense that, usually we read a specific situation from somebody in the audience.
Yep.
And we're going to do something a little different just for tonight. I'm not saying we're doing this all the time, but
It's our show. We're changing the format.
Dude, we're just going to switch it up because both of us encountered the same situation multiple times each this week. And oh my God, there's a spider right there, dude.
Where?
It just dropped right next to your phone.
Oh, you cocksucker! Where?
Right there.
Oh, it's tiny. It's dead.
That's really crazy coincidence.
Dude.
Okay, there was a spider in the studio, but we're good.
You're not gonna be able to see it on the video.
No,
but
they can't see it, dude.
Yeah, it is tiny, but it's now dead.
Okay, so the situation that we encountered multiple times this week, multiple times each, that made us feel like we really need to address it is it goes a little something like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, audience at home, tell me if you've had a situation like this. Basically, I was on social media, okay, browsing the Facebook feed, and I noticed that one of our friends posted about 9:30 in the morning, and he said, something about work, right? Like,
I can't remember the situation.
My boss yelled at me, about this project, right? I guess it's just today's going to be a bad day, right? And that was at like 9:30 in the morning. So today's just going to be a bad day.
9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, right? And then I noticed, probably 4 or 5 situations extremely similar wherein it was something happened. Well, it's just a shit day, or like, what was the other one we talked about? I mean, it was pretty much like,
today's just not my day.
Yeah, that was
like
one.
It was kind of like very blanket statements, but just came up multiple times in different platforms in real life, in social media, in your life, in my life. So I mean, it's kind of like just we can't put our name. I can't put a name on the specific situations, right? Without calling those people out.
Yeah.
But that is the situation where it's like getting engulfed in one instance that takes the tune of the whole day.
Exactly. And that's what we want to talk about.
Right.
Right. Is essentially the phenomena behind letting one thing determine the quality of your day. Right. And I know for me, this is something that I used to struggle with. I don't anymore at all. But I used to years ago, where like one thing doesn't go right, which we could question further, but for sake of time, like one thing doesn't go the way you planned, right? And that then dictates the quality of the rest of your day, right? And we want to shed a little bit of light on that and hopefully offer a reframe to where you guys can reframe your perspective a little bit so that does not occur as easily for you or as often, okay? So maybe I'll dive in on kind of the perspective, and you can talk about the environmental stuff.
Dude, absolutely.
Okay, so my perspective on this is very simple, okay? And we got to kind of boil it down to its foundation. Okay?
Foundations, yeah.
But when you look at, it's 9:30 and my boss yells at me, right? And I chalk it up to, well, today's just not my day. So essentially what you're saying, and this is where I'm going to kind of call you guys out a little bit, right? Because I think this is what it takes. But what you're essentially saying is that 30 seconds just completely dictated 24 hours.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, it's fucking crazy.
It sounds dumb.
Right? And it's like...
But everyone does it.
Everybody does it, myself included.
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
And it's like, okay, so you're basically saying, this happened, and now my day is bad, right? Now, I would argue that no day is a bad day. Now, obviously, there are crazy circumstances, right? Like the Gilroy shootings just happened. Yeah. That's a bad day for a lot of people.
9/11.
9/11's a fucking bad day.
If you said, hey, like, I just experienced 9/11 at 9 o'clock on Facebook.
And today's a bad day?
I would be like, you're right.
Yeah, dude, today's a bad day.
Dude, sorry about that.
Right.
That was tragedy.
Yes. But
that's one time in the last 18 years that I'm like, you got to pass.
Yeah. And so I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not saying that bad days don't exist, right? But what I am saying is that 99% of whether or not your day is good or bad is you.
Totally.
It is 99% of the time, it's 100% you, right? And what I mean by that is that it's a decision, okay? It is a decision that you say, today is a bad day because of XYZ. Instead, what I challenge you guys to do is reframe a little bit and say, okay, there's this situation that happened, right? Now, I can either choose to let it affect me in this way, or I can choose to reframe and look at it like this, right? So, for example, it's like, I was on my way to an appointment 2 weeks ago, and there was this huge accident on 17, Highway 17 for our NorCal family. It's madness, right?
Dude.
And I was sitting in traffic, and maps told me I was going to be 30 minutes late. Now, being late for me is about the worst thing that can happen. I hate being late.
You're not a late guy.
It turns me into a psycho, right? I get so crazy if I'm late. I do not like being late.
I'm okay with being late sometimes.
Yeah, I freak out, dude.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm working on it,
yeah,
too.
It's definitely a good thing, right? It's just annoying,
Right.
But so I'm like sitting in traffic, and I'm like, well, this is just fucked, right? And then I stopped, and I said, okay, is it really though? Like, is it really like, is this really like that? Is this going to end my world, right? And I knew that if I didn't reframe on my way there, that when I got to my appointment, I would have been all out of sorts, right? So instead of saying, well, today's just not my day, and surrendering all of my power, right, to external factors, I took my power and I said, okay, I'm going to control what I can, and I cannot control this traffic, but I can control the way I look at this traffic, right? So instead of being, defeated by it and surrendering all my power and becoming a victim to external factors, I decided, you know what? I'm stuck in traffic, and there's literally nothing I can do about it right now. What am I going to do with this time instead of just sitting here angry? So I put on a podcast, the MFCEO Project, incredible podcast.
Super dope podcast.
If you guys aren't listening to that, get over there, because it is incredible. But I decided to put that on.
There we go.
And spend that extra 30 minutes learning.
With Andy.
With Andy, dude.
Shout out to Andy, dude. If you're listening, I'm juiced.
Yeah, you're the man, dude.
Yeah, you're a legend, dude.
Yeah.
But we want to meet you at your little sweepstake. We put some emails in.
Yeah, we did, dude. We emailed. But that being said, it was a simple reframe that immediately changed my tone, my demeanor, and overall
outlook
my
and
day,
perspective,
right?
yeah.
And so what happens when I see somebody say like, oh, that 10 minutes fucking ruined my day, I feel bad. Because it's like, dude, don't let it. Yeah. Don't let it ruin your day. It doesn't need to. The only reason it is because you're deciding for it to.
Absolutely.
Right? And I don't want people to, at like 50, when you're 50, are you going to look back and be like, damn, dude, I had so many bad days, right? And like, so my challenge, right? The practical takeaway for you guys is look at it like this. By saying this is a bad day, or by saying this really sucks, or by saying this is the fucking worst thing, right? You are essentially deciding that it is that. And I want to know, how does that serve you, right? If you pull way back and you look at it from the outside, look at yourself from the outside, right? Try and literally picture yourself outside of your body, right? And ask yourself, how does saying this and determining this positively serve my life? And see what comes up. Because I guarantee that when you ask that, it will not provide a positive answer. Right? And it'll challenge the way you look at things, the way you think about life, and how you live it, right? So my challenge is to kind of pull way back, take a look at yourself, and ask, how does this serve me? If it doesn't serve you positively, leave it at the door, dude. Yeah, don't do it. Change it. And the other big thing is that until you do it, you won't know it's possible. So the other challenge I'm going to leave you guys with is try it one time on something little, right? Something annoying happens.
Start small.
Yeah, start small. Something annoying happens. What are you going to do about it, right? Are you going to look at it like, oh my God, that's so fucking stupid, right? Or are you going to say, wow, that situation happened, and let me see how I can control it and not let it affect me in a negative way? If you do it just one time, you prove to yourself that you can do it all the time, and then make it a habit. That's my advice.
I love it, dude.
Boom.
I got a funny story to add into that
Throw
about
it in there,
that
dude.
today, dude.
Yeah. Hit me.
So I just got done with a haircut. Went over to Chipotle. I was like, hey, I'm going to get some Chipotle, bring it home to the girlfriend. And so I get to Chipotle, and at where the Chipotle I go to is, there's like the line, but then there's also this really long table. It's like parallel, and there's like stools. Right, so every time I go there and I'm waiting in line, I sit at the stool and look at my phone or dick around. I was just in a haircut appointment for like an hour and a half, so I was checking the social medias.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on the stool, clearly in line, and there's maybe like 2 feet in front of me from the next person. And I'm like looking at my phone out of the corner of my eye, I see some dude just walk past me in the line. Like he just basically cut me. And I'm like on my phone, I look up, and he's got those like Bose speaker headphones like over his ears.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But before I saw that, I was like, hey, I'm in line. And then like just like went back to my phone and I was like, oh man, what a dickhead, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this dude just totally cut me off. Like
Yeah.
took my place in line. Like I
Yeah.
just don't exist, you know?
Right.
And all these thoughts came up. And,
Sure.
And so I was like, oh man, dude, like I'm in line, you know? And he didn't say anything. And then I put my phone down. I looked up and he's got these headphones and he's clearly like not in present time. He's just in his zone or whatever.
Yeah. Listening to Kanye.
And I was laughing because I was like, God, it's so funny. Like that I said something to him and he's listening to headphones. Like, what are the chances of that? You know? Like that's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I just laughed about it and let him go. Like, dude, you can have your spot. Like you didn't hear because your headphones are off, but they're out of white rice. And that's what I'm here for. So it actually did me a big service. I got to wait for the white rice. So
there you go.
But it was funny because normally, like back in the day, like I would fight someone over doing that. Like, that's so disrespectful, you know?
Yeah, right.
Just kind of like let it go off the shoulders, laughed about it, saw a different perspective, and just said, "Whatever, fuck you, dude. You want?"
And let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this for the audience, right?
Yeah.
So you let it go.
Let it go.
Right now, in the moments that followed letting it go, how did you feel?
Fine.
Like what occurred mentally and emotionally afterwards?
After I let it go,
yeah,
like humor, dude. Like I saw how small it was, you know, like. So what actually did happen is like, okay, cool. Maybe I want to talk to this guy and tell him, hey, you cut me. I have to tap him on the shoulder. He's got to take his headphones off. I have to explain to him how I was actually in line, which you shouldn't have to do.
Right.
And then see what he says and go through all that shit for no reason.
Right.
Maybe he gets really mad. Maybe I end up punching him. I don't know. I don't really want to go down that route. I don't care that now. I don't care enough.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not in a huge rush. It's my day off. I'm chilling.
Right.
So I just said, cool, let it go.
Yeah.
And then I just kept living my life, dude. It was all good.
And that is such a great example because it's like, dude, there are times where so my girlfriend actually challenged me one time because I get road rage, right?
There you go.
I fucking road rage, you guys.
You do.
It's not cool.
Or safe.
It's not, dude. It's bad all around, right? And I'm working on it. But like one thing we've talked about before that I really, really like thinking about is like, dude, the guy that like cuts you off, you know, maybe he's just changing lanes.
Yeah.
Right. Like the guy that cuts you off and then flips you off. Right. Maybe his fucking wife just left him. You know, like there's so many things like that we don't know that are occurring. The last thing you want to do is just assume something and then allow it to fucking determine the outcome of your entire day.
That was just made up.
That you created in your own mind.
That felt right.
Yeah, and that's like the big point I'm trying to get across to you guys is this, right? We're all doing our daily betterment game for August.
We are.
Right? So try this out. When something occurs that's less than optimum, right? Command your mind to alter your perspective, right? Shift your perspective and look at it like, yeah, well, that just happened. And that's all that is, right? Problems are nothing more than situations that need a little attention, right? But the minute you name it a problem is the minute you fucking surrender your power to that situation.
Very true.
Right? I'm trying to empower everybody that listens to this show the way you and I have found power in ourselves, in that we can literally command our minds. The only thing you have to do is do it.
Yeah.
So start small, try it out, and see what happens. I guarantee the outcome will prove. Like you shed that emotion. Emotions, guys, generally, on average, emotions last between 8 and 11 minutes. That's it. Not 24 hours, right? And that's clinically proven that the average emotion lasts between 8 and 11 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So give yourself
good and bad.
Yeah, give yourself those 8 minutes, right? But then after that, move on.
Yeah, feel
move
another
forward.
one.
Enjoy your day. Enjoy all the beauty that your day has. And if you've been doing your hashtag 2-minute takeaways, right, you'll look back and say, damn, today was not a bad day.
Not at all.
Because you find joy in it, right?
Well said.
But Dal, you wanted to crack some knowledge environmentally with, you know, the bad day phenomena, dude. So
the bad day phenomena.
Yeah, break it down, dude.
There's like 3 things that I want to say about the bad day phenomena.
Okay.
And I think I guess as far as like environment, we'll start there with the environmentally thing.
Yeah, like external factors.
Yeah, external factors. And I think, you know, it always comes down to like, if you are in the bad day phenomena, right? Like say the girl that posted or the guy who posted, whoever it was.
Yeah.
Right? Whoever did post that, guy or girl, whatever, I don't remember. But they post, hey, man, having a shitty day. It's 9:30, day's fucked. What a loss, you know? you would think historically that that person would, they believe that enough to post it to all of their friends, to all their family, to they want everyone to know
that's a good
that
point.
they got yelled at by their boss,
right?
And today is fucked,
right?
And there's nothing good that can come from today,
right?
Right. So if someone was to say that to me, I would probably laugh and then reframe it for them so fast and then send them on their way,
right?
Just because that's what we do all the time,
of course.
Right. So what I think is important, if you are in that phenomenon, or you are that person, or you tend to see negative more than you see positive, to get around people that aren't like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like come hang out with me and Jeremy, Jeremy and I, right? Like we would never allow someone in our circle or our corner to live like that. Where it's like, hey, you got yelled at your boss. Cool. I get that. Right on. Let's move forward.
Yeah. Right.
Or do you need to process it for another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. You do. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it for 10 minutes.
Right.
Okay, cool. Now it's over. Let's keep going forward.
Yep.
Or do you want to sit with it more?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Fuck. Let's go back to it. Let's process it some more. Now let's move forward.
Right.
But I mean, within 30 minutes, like that, it should be done and over with.
Tied
and
up with a bow on
tied
top.
up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tied up, moving forward, shooting forward.
Yeah.
But obviously, not everyone has people like that in their corner.
True.
Right. So for her, I hope that someone would point that out.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to fix a problem if you're not aware of it.
Right. Some
people maybe didn't know until today that's a problem that people have. You know,
right.
It's like
something
bad happened at 9:30. Like, okay, cool. Well, we got fucking teriyaki chicken for lunch, and that's always awesome.
Yeah, dude. Always.
Like, are you gonna not enjoy that because your boss yelled at you 3 hours ago?
Right.
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 It'd be like me being upset if you kicked me in the balls right now. It would hurt for probably like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And in 4 hours from now, I'm not gonna be like, God, my fucking balls hurt so bad still.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Right.
You know? So anyway, that's my point, right? Is like, if you're aware that that's a problem now, like find people to pull you out of the funk.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Because you are the way that you are, and nothing will change unless you change. So
that's it.
One of the changes you can make is to get around people, right, that are positive, that are optimistic, that can pull you out of the funk that your mind just subjectively set for your whole day.
Yeah.
That's the environmental factor that I think is super important.
Totally.
Is modeling people that don't live that way.
Yeah. And I think he pointed out a few very, very important things. And that is that, you know, I don't want anybody listening or watching to think that what we're asking is insensitive, right? Like, I know, like, for me, like, you know, like we talked about with the trauma-informed mindfulness, right? Like, our thresholds for pain are very different, right? So something that bothers me a lot, right, may not bother you at all.
Road rage.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Some things that bother you a whole lot, I could just let roll right off, right? And so it's not that we're being insensitive or that we're asking you to be insensitive to your circle or to yourself, right? But rather, like, you know, if when you post something like that on social media, you're signaling that you want people to sympathize, right?
Totally.
And we could do a whole episode on sympathy. There's so much to say about sympathy, but I think I wouldn't go on your Facebook and comment like, dude, just reframe it. Are you kidding me? Like, it's not a big deal. Right? I'm not going to be a dick about it. But what I would say is, you know, dude, like, that sucks. Like, nobody likes getting yelled at by their boss.
No.
Right? Like, that sucks, dude. Like, it's not fun. And we're not saying that it doesn't suck, but what we're saying is that just because it sucks doesn't mean you have to surrender the rest of your experience because of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, there have been times where I get so stressed out, right? And, you know, it's like I'll be so hungry, dude, or I'll be tired and I fucking just snap. I get all stressed, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, we go out to dinner and it's like this really great dinner and all our friends are there. Everybody's palling around and I miss it because I'm consumed by something 4 hours earlier.
Yeah.
And that sucks, dude. And that's something I work on personally all the time is like, dude, name it. What is this that I'm feeling right now? Name it so that people hold you accountable, right? So what I would comment on that social media post about, oh, my day's just fucked, right, is, dude, that sucks that you got yelled at by your boss, right?
But
what has gone good for you today, though? Like, what's gone right for you today? And you're essentially like, like rehabilitating previous wins that bring them back to life, right? Like, hey, dude, from the moment you woke up this morning until right now, this moment, what has gone well? right?
Totally.
And there is obviously going to be something. Let's focus on that instead.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're on your deathbed, what are you going to think about more? The moments that sucked or the ones that brought you pleasure?
Yeah.
Right? So let's fucking dedicate our energy to the ones that bring pleasure, not pain.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not to say brush your pain under the rug. That's not to say that pain doesn't exist. That's not to say that fucking problems don't happen. Right? They do. But what we are saying is like little shit that, you know, that, and you guys know the difference, right? We don't got to spell this out, but the little shit that doesn't need to ruin your day, don't let it.
Don't let it.
And that's a decision only you can make.
Totally.
Right? But having a bunch of friends around you that are a bunch of negative Nancys and they're like the ones that constantly just
Screw
talk
your
shit.
boss. What'd he
Like,
say?
oh my
Bring
God.
it back up.
Oh yeah, dude. Just that whole fucking, no, dude. Get around people that would support you, and support in the right way looks like, dude, that definitely blows, right?
Yeah.
But like also like, how is it going with your fucking husband?
Yeah, what
right?
else
Like,
are you excited for
like,
about
what's
today?
going good?
You got vacation coming up,
Right.
whatever. Yeah, reframe it for you.
Exactly. And that really brings like, that ties in the 2-minute takeaway, because that is such a monumental thing. It's 2 minutes of your fucking day.
Yeah.
Right. But the reason we reflect on it is because it can shine light on the day as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if we spend all our time dedicating energy to these little problems, right? Like if you go up in a plane and you look down from 30,000 feet and you can't see this problem, don't let it ruin your day. Right. Make that conscious decision to reframe in the moment and say, you know what, in 8 minutes, I'm not going to care about this. Right. I know I'm hogging the mic, but something else just came to mind. I was at a conference last year, and it was one of the presenters. He's like one of the leading practicing psychologists for stress and anxiety, right? And he did a whole presentation on anxiety, and the example he used was flying, right? Because it's like one of the biggest causes of anxiety worldwide, right? Flying.
Damn.
People don't like to fly, right?
That's true.
And what he said actually changed my life, because even though I've been on like 500 flights, 1,000 flights in my life, I don't even know.
Somewhere between those two
A
numbers.
ton, dude.
Yeah.
I've been on a lot of flights, right? Even still, I was an anxious flyer, right? And what he said is he's, you know, with anxiety and with stress, right? He said, okay, I challenge anybody that's stressed or anxious or angry or sad or any of these unwanted emotions, right? Only allow yourself to address them for 30 minutes a day, right? And so he would say, literally, like, you're stressed about that? Okay, you're not allowed to stress out about that until 3 o'clock this afternoon, right? And from 3 to 3:30, you can spend that entire half an hour just stress the fuck out, right? But until then and after then, you can't, right? And so I'm not a huge fan of like denying people emotions, but what I did take away from it was you can't fill that 30 minutes, right? You can't, dude. And so what I would do is I would be on the plane, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm anxious, man. I feel it in my tummy, right? And I'm the type of dude that's like, you know, only one plane out of a million goes down, and it's the one I'm on right now.
You're convinced this is it, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's the worst.
It's fucked up, dude.
And you want to tell the people sitting next to you, like, this is the one.
Oh, and the worst is when they're more nervous than me, right? And they're like, hey, what's up? You know, and they're drinking at like 9 a.m. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. You know, or like they got their rosary out. I'm like, oh, God. But what's interesting, right, is that I would say, okay, I'm not going to be anxious about this right now. I'm going to be anxious about it at 4 o'clock today. And when 4 o'clock rolls, just say, I'm not doing it right now. I'm not doing it right now. I'll do it at 4.
Yeah.
And then 4 o'clock comes, I spend 5 minutes on it, and guess what, dude? I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Because emotions do not last very long.
They don't.
Right? The only way an emotion, like my day is ruined, right? That narrative, the only way it continues throughout the day is if you remind yourself, right?
You keep carrying it.
Yeah. So what we're challenging you guys to do is this, right? Look at your circle, right? Evaluate your circle. Get yourself around some positive people. And if there are none, which is a real thing.
That is, yeah.
Get some positive inflow in your life somehow, whether it be our podcast or, you know, other podcasts, YouTube channels, the internet, like whatever it is. Get some positivity flowing in all the time, right? The second thing, right? Put it off. Dedicate a little bit of time of your day, and that is when you can be stressed or angry, right? Which that one I'm like kind of 50-50 on, but it does work. So if that's where you're at,
there's certain people would be really helpful for.
Yeah, try it out, right? And then the third thing would be just naming what's occurring, and then, you know, depending on what time it is, find something, find a 2-minute takeaway in that moment that you feel your whole day's ruined, force yourself to find a 2-minute takeaway from when you woke up until that point in time, right? And then the fourth and final and the most important, reframe your mind. Something small, right? Just try it out, and we promise it'll work. And when it works, you'll prove to yourself it's possible, and then it's fucking easy to make a habit.
Boom.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah. Sick story too. I like that.
Yeah, dude. That guy.
Super tangible.
You know what I'll do is I'll plug him in the description on the podcast and the YouTube. This guy does incredible work with stress and anxiety, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is phenomenal.
Dude, I know some people that need that.
Yeah, wow. The other thing that the other exercise he would do is he would challenge people to fake it till they make it, right? So like in times that you feel scared, right, or anxious or stressed, right, is pretending like you're acting in a play is what he said.
Yeah.
Right, where you're the leading star, right? And what he compared it to is like, you ever sit next to those guys, like even in turbulence, they don't seem to care. They're just reading their book or don't give a shit, and you always envy them. Act like them. Yeah. Right? Act like you're not afraid and see what happens to the fear. And I use that sometimes too, where I'm like, no, I'm that guy that's totally cool on a plane, right? And when I decide that, I am that guy. Yeah. Right? It's crazy how it works, man, but that's the power of the mind.
Power of the mind, dude.
Yeah.
Holy
so I'll plug that guy, man. He's a shit.
Plug that dude.
Yeah.
We got some other things we're gonna plug too coming up. I got 4 things that I want to say, and I'm gonna say them kind of quick. Okay. I'm not gonna go too crazy.
Fire them out there, dude.
But some of them we could plug.
Okay.
So stay with me.
Hang out.
Hang out, dude. You're already here.
We're already there.
Just be okay being here.
Yeah.
First one, dude, I was thinking about. Is the choice, right? If your day is gonna be, if you want to label your day bad, it's gonna be bad. Yep. If you want to label it good, it's gonna be good. Yep. Right? It's kind of the law of familiarity, the law of attraction, like you were just talking about. Yep. It's gonna be what you put your attention on. Yep. 9:30 a.m. My boss yelled at me. My day's gonna fucking suck. You are gonna find so many examples that prove that to you. Yes. Jeremy messages you on Facebook, say, "Hey, dude, what about all the cool shit that's coming up this week?" He helps you reframe it, and you're like, "Oh shit, I got a birthday party, and I got a barbecue, and we got chicken teriyaki, and I get to see my dad tonight." Like, okay, cool. Your day's not gonna suck because now your attention on like what is cool about today. You're gonna find that too. Yep. Right. So the choice is yours to make. Be conscious of what choices you're making because you can always make different choices. Say that girl posts at 9:30 and she says day's gonna fucking suck. Maybe at 10 you decide, hey, it doesn't have to. Right. Right. So that's the first thing, right? Make a fucking choice. Yep. And you can always make a different one. Yep. Always. All the time. Yeah. Right? Every passing moment is another chance to turn it all around. Amen. And that includes the whole day. Yeah. Doesn't stop at 9:30 a.m. No, it doesn't. Second thing, dude, that I thought was super cool. Oh wow. Did I say 4 things? I think I only have 3 things. Okay. Yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on a roll. But now I want to go a tangent on just step 1. That's all. Yeah, I know, dude. I did too. Like, but shit, dude. We gotta roll in the number 2. We gotta roll in number 2, dude. Okay. So, and you were kind of talking about it, right? And we've talked about this before. And maybe I'll bring up a light story when we did talk about this. But the Buddhist, like 2 arrows, right? Like the 2 darts, like the first dart of pain and the second dart of suffering. Yeah. So there's a bunch of sick data on that online. It's like a Buddhist, I forget the word that they use. It's principle? It's like a word they use for principle. Oh, I forget what the word is, though. Yeah. It's like a esoteric word. Yeah. Like it's not coming to me either, dude. It's not going to come to me either. But basically what it says, right, is like in life there is for sure pain. Yeah. You know, people are going to die. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose relationships. You're going to get hurt. You're going to hurt other people. Yep. There's physical and emotional pain that will absolutely happen to every single person that lives life. Yes. And that's okay. We all know that. Right. But there's also your reaction to that pain, right? There's that girl's reaction or that guy's reaction to her boss yelling at her. Yeah. And that whole day, if it decided to suck, was her choosing to suffer through that pain, even though the pain is long gone. Right. Kind of like we said with the if you kick me in the balls thing. If I chose to continue suffering over pain that wasn't there, I'd say that was silly. You know? And so a funny story about that, I remember telling Jeremy when I first heard that, and we were golfing. Oh, yeah. And we were in the golf cart, and I hit some bad shots. Yeah. And I said, dude, this isn't a first dart. This isn't a first arrow. This isn't actual pain. This isn't physical pain. Right. No one died. No one got hurt. I didn't lose anything. You're still here. I'm still here. Yep. Why am I upset about this shot? Yeah. Like, I am choosing to be upset. I'm choosing to suffer. I'm choosing to have negative self-talk, beat myself up. Like, my narrative about what happened is where the pain is actually coming from. You make a bad golf shot, nothing changes.
No.
You still have your parents. You still have your kids. You still have your wife. You still have your job.
Right.
You still have the same amount of money, most likely, unless you're betting on it. There's no first start. There's no arrow, except for me in the way that I choose to respond to what just happened.
Damn, dude.
And I think that's super important, dude.
That's it. We could have summed this whole podcast up in 5 minutes right there.
We could have.
That's it, dude.
We really could have,
That's
dude.
fire.
So I think we should, on our resource page, we'll plug a description for you guys, maybe a link to an article that really resonates and really kind of describes that in a very simple way.
Yeah, we'll put that on the resource page.
Because it could be like complicated, you know, but if you simplify it, right, and give yourself, see what is upsetting you and see if it's a first dart or a second dart, right? And if you need clarifications on first dart, it's pain. Right. It's real things that cause physical, emotional trauma, injury. And if it's not that, it's usually your reaction to something that's not that. And that's what you need to look at.
Right.
Like I did with the golf ball.
Yeah.
No one was hurt. Nothing happened. Why am I so fucking upset?
Right.
So that's my second tip.
Sick.
The third one is, which we'll probably do a whole nother episode on this, but just the idea of complaining in general, dude. Like, I know with me, a lot of people hate, right? A lot of people dislike, hate's a very strong word.
Yeah.
I work hard. I don't like when people don't work hard, right? So when people aren't like me, it's hard to like them.
Yes.
Right. But one thing that I don't do is complain a lot.
Right.
So I tend to dislike people that complain a lot.
Right.
Because as we all know, complaining doesn't get you anywhere near a solution. It doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't
do
anything.
All it does is just say, hey, I'm complaining about something negative and I want you to agree with me.
Yes.
I want you to validate that I have a right to complain.
Right.
I want you to validate my negative thoughts, my negative feelings towards myself or somebody else.
Yep.
And if I
say,
say,
make the
hey,
story true.
Make the story true.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, hey, I think Jeremy's a piece of shit. Jeremy's like, you know what? He is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We both just agreed that someone's a shitty person.
Yeah.
And nothing productive happened.
No.
Nothing positive happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I hate complaining, is because it doesn't go towards any solution,
right,
or fixing anything or anything positive. There's no real result of even doing it.
No.
It's like wasting time.
Yes.
I look at it as wasting time, wasting energy,
right,
wasting space.
Yes.
You know?
Great point, dude.
So I just challenge people to try to complain less.
Yeah.
If you find yourself complaining, right? What do they say? Like, don't complain unless you're willing to find the solution for it.
Right.
You know, if you're finding the solution for it and you're complaining about how hard it is to find it, cool.
Yeah.
At least you're trying.
Right.
You know? You're trying to fix something. You're being part of the solution, not the problem.
Right.
But when you're complaining, you are just as much part of the problem as what you're probably complaining about. So that's my tangible challenge to you. It's like, see what you're suffering over, if it's first dart or second dart.
Yep.
And see if you're complaining just to complain. See if you're complaining for validation.
Right.
Right, because we'll give it to you, dude, but we're also going to want you to find a solution.
Yeah, and I think
that shit gets old.
Yeah, dude, and those are absolutely phenomenal points, and we'll make sure that Jordy puts those in the blog that we release with this.
Yes, dude, absolutely.
Because that's very tangible, and I think, like, as kind of a concluding thought for the audience, right, like, I know that the tone of this episode may feel a little different. Like, we're not trying to come down on you guys, right, but what we are trying to do is rattle you out of this narrative that people tend to get stuck in, right? And we're not on some high soapbox, right? Like, both of us do this shit too.
Yeah.
Right? But we're at a place now where we've seen enough people go through it, right? In addiction, right? Specifically, where there is so much that they could complain about, so much. They could say, dude, I've had people in their 50s, right? And they're like, Jeremy, dude, what's the point? What's the point of me getting sober, right? I got 20 years left. Like, I fucked up too much already. Like,
liver shot.
It's gone, dude. It's gone. Like, you know, this person we saw on Facebook, they said my day is fucked. I've had people at 55, 65 telling me their life is fucked, right? And every time I give the same answer, right? And it's like, dude, your life in this moment is exactly what you want it to be, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody fucks up. Nobody can wake up in the morning and say everything is absolutely perfect, right? And the theme of this show is that we're not going for perfect, we're going for fucking better, right? Yep. It can always be better. I don't care if you got $10 in the bank or 200 million in the bank, it can always be better, right?
Truth.
And that doesn't need to just be money. That can be emotionally too, right? And so I look at people in their 50s and 60s and they say, Jeremy, dude, like, it's
What's
pointless,
the point?
dude. Yeah. And I always say the same thing, dude. It's like, dude, you have so much life left, even if your life ends tomorrow. Because the moments between now and then can be beautiful if you fucking want them to be, right? And that is so powerful.
It is.
I want people, before you go post, right? Before you complain to somebody, before you allow that thought train to leave the station and chalk up the rest of the day like it's a total wash, right? Just think to yourself, what does this serve me? What is the point of complaining to this person, right? Before the words leave your mouth, just challenge yourself, right? What do I accomplish by complaining? What do I accomplish by writing this post?
How is this going to make my day better?
How is it going to improve anything, right? And the answer is always going to be, it won't.
Yeah.
Right? So we're trying to get you to do something that will.
Yeah. So why do it?
Yeah. So what you can do is exactly what we outlined earlier, okay? And we want to see you guys reframing, okay? Like we're going to write a book on this shit. How to reframe your mind will change your life, right? Like,
reframe your life.
Yeah, dude. By reframing the mind.
Yeah.
Working title.
That's it.
Trademark, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's ours.
Yeah, but we're seriously like we're not trying to yell at you guys. And like the thing is that a lot of times if you try and kind of like rattle someone out of that, they're going to resist.
Totally.
Right? Like I've
it's
seen
uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable and they want to be right about why it's wrong, right? And that is okay. You can allow it to feel wrong. You can say this is bad. You can say I don't like this, right? But don't let it last your day.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't waste your energy doing it.
No, man. Give it 8 to 11 minutes, and then guess what? Move on. Enjoy your
Time's
fucking
up,
day.
motherfucker.
Dude, every day is a beautiful day, man. And
need
that's what we're trying to tell you guys is that we're not trying to yell at you, right? We're just trying to really jolt you out of chalking up your whole day to 5 minutes of time.
Yeah, dude. Well said.
Yeah, we got beautiful moments, man. Let's live in them, right? And that's
true, dude.
That's our advice. It's very hard to do. We get it. But you can do it, and that's the point.
Yeah, and we also don't care that it's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah, we don't care, dude.
Yeah, dude. I always say that all the time. I don't care that's hard.
Yeah.
You know, we need to do something hard.
Yeah.
It needs to be uncomfortable.
Right.
Because if it's not, you'll never change.
That's right.
And you'll always have a bad day.
Yep.
And you'll never find 2-minute takeaways.
Yep.
And you'll never be happy. You'll miss all these little fucking moments every day.
Yeah.
Because you habitually see the bad.
Yep.
Right. And we have, how much experience do we have of people that see the bad? How hard is it to reframe that and change that?
Yeah.
It's taken you 10 years, me 5. It's taken a lot of work, and
Long
it's
time.
been really fucking hard.
Yeah.
But it's also so rewarding.
It's worth it, guys.
And it was worth all the effort that went into it.
Yep.
And if there's no one there to point out your flaws, there's no one there to tell you that, hey, maybe you're thinking incorrectly, or you could be thinking better, or you could be thinking differently, you never will.
Never will.
And then you'll always have what you already have.
Yeah.
The things that you don't want included.
Exactly, dude.
That's what sucks, dude.
Perfect.
So that's why we're saying this.
Yeah.
Because we want you guys to have more. We want you guys to be better, do better, and live better.
That's it.
And we could do that by listening to our fucking advice.
Yeah. And doing it.
This is proven.
Yeah.
This is evidence-based shit.
Yeah, dude. And
had to get some swear words in there.
Yeah, that is the perfect conclusion,
Passion.
I think. All right, you guys, we apologize for all the anecdotes, and by we, I mean me.
Yeah.
But honestly, I like giving you guys stories because it frames things really easily.
Yeah.
But that being said, in conclusion, what we want to do is remind you of Betterment Month. So we're wanting you guys to do one thing every day that brings betterment to your life, okay? Whether it's reading, meditating, doing your gratitude journal, which we talk about a lot.
Yep.
Whether it's hitting the gym a little harder than normal, switching up your routine altogether, jumping in CrossFit if you never have.
Yeah.
Right? Like all these different things, as long as it's something better that you don't normally do, okay? If you eat a super clean diet all the time,
Don't use that as an excuse to use that all week or all month.
Yeah, dude, don't use that every day.
Yeah.
Right? This is something that you don't ordinarily do, but you know you should. Right? And we want you to hashtag us on
And
social
laundry
media.
doesn't count.
No, laundry doesn't count, dude.
Yeah.
Unless you never do it.
Yeah.
Right? And you're being better by doing your laundry, then hey, hashtag.
That's what it reminded me of. Like,
Yeah.
unless it needs to be something that you know you should do. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, I need to do my laundry. And I know I need to do it.
Hashtag daily betterment.
Yeah, hashtag laundry.
But yeah, we want you guys to hit us up on the social media.
Yes, do it. Tag
Hashtag
us.
2-minute takeaway, right? We've had a couple people, we're sharing it in our story. If you do something that brings you betterment or something that you're finding joy in that you wouldn't ordinarily find joy in, Hashtag 2-minute takeaway. Hashtag daily betterment. We want to see this all over the internet.
Yeah.
And at the
tag
end of
the
the
Betterment
month,
Bros.
Yeah, tag us, dude, so we could share your shit on our
Yeah,
social.
we want to see that happening.
Yeah. And if you're not following us on Instagram, please do. Okay.
Or Facebook.
Yeah, we're at Betterment Bros. Okay, find us on there, comment on our shit, like our shit. DM us if you have a situation you need help with, or email us at bettermentbros@gmail.com. Find us on the web, find that resources page. We're www.betterment-bros.com. And of course, if you do enjoy this content, if you're enjoying the show, all we ask is that you share it with a buddy, right? Send us a friend that you think would enjoy the show. Also, if you've already sent us some friends, leave a review, put a rating, whatever you guys want to rate us, write a review. We love the feedback.
We do.
And that being said, we want you guys to have a good weekend. No bad days.
No bad days. Hashtag no bad days.
No bad days. That's right, Dal. So that being said, we're going to sign off, but you guys have a good weekend. We'll see you guys next week. I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
Take it easy.